Hi friends, this is NJ, host on this channel. So we will continue our discussion around different minor arcana cards. We have started our discussion first with the suit of Pentacles, and the card which we are going to discuss today is the King of Pentacles. So far we have already covered the Ace of Pentacles, the numbered cards from the card number 2 till the card number 10, and the 3 court cards, Page of Pentacle, Knight of Pentacle and the Queen of Pentacle. So before we'll start our discussion on this final card from the suit of Pentacle, just a quick recap of all what we have studied so far. We have already discussed that tarot is basically used for doing a character analysis, to get a glimpse of the future, to get a solution to remediate confusion, and it also helps you in doing meditation because it has been believed that the divine preside on these tarot cards. Now when it comes to understanding the components of these tarot cards, they can be divided into two chunks, the major arcana cards and the minor arcana cards. Arcana is a Latin word which means secret. So in our previous series we have already discussed the major arcana cards, which are in total 22 in numbers, and they tell about the universal theme, about the more impactful and the more long lasting events. But when it comes to understanding the impact of these energies which makes up our daily day, which affect us on our daily life in the form of our emotions, our relationship, our finances, our job, our worries, then you need to study these minor arcana cards. These minor arcana cards, which are in total 56 in numbers, can be divided into four suits. The suit of wands, which represents fire element and tells about your action, creativity and the movement. Then comes the suit of cups, which represents water and tells about your relationship and the spiritual experiences. Next in the series is the suit of swords, which represents the air elements and tells about your intellectual pursuits, your mental clarity, your thoughts, your reasons, depression, anxiety, all of that we see from the suit of swords. And the last is the suit of pentacles, which represents the earth element and tells about your financial status, about your security, about your financial and material stability. So now, we have already discussed that all of these suits carry in total 14 cards. Aces, the numbered cards which are also known as the pip cards, the card number from the card number 2 till the card number 10, and the 4 court cards, the page, knight, queen and the king. So now as we have to discuss this King of Pentacles, so first of all we'll try to understand this illustration, this design. So as you can see that this male mature man who sits on this throne, he holds this scepter on his one hand, which represents authority, and on his left hand he holds this pentacle, which represents wealth. His whole gown which he is wearing, his robe, is emblazoned with the embellishment of the vines and the grapes, which also represents the fulfillment, the wealth, the amenities and all the riches. Along with that, as you can see, this castle on it is behind his left shoulder, which also tells about throne, tells about the authority. And these symbol of bull on his throne also tells about the stability. This can be looked at from the perspective of a steady and a stable temperament. So this is all what we can learn from this illustration, from this design. Now when it comes to understanding the meaning of this card, the divinatory meaning, so this card tells about, first of all, the enterprising nature. Enterprising, it means that the person has the capacity, has the capability to make good money. All those people who has this kind of Midas touch, whatsoever they touch they can make it into gold. So that is a very metaphorical explanation or a usage of word, but in a nutshell this card in its first divinatory meaning, in a first attribute, just tells about enterprising nature. The person has the capacity to financially grow in the life, to make good amount of money, because right now the power of king is being seen from the perspective of the pentacle suit, and pentacle is all about the finances. Second, this card also tells about potential, competency. The person whomsoever you are reading in this card, if this card has come out to be in an upright placement, tells about that the person has the good skills, person has the competency and the potential to thrive and succeed in the life. Next, this card also tells about the reliability, that this is someone on whose shoulder you can rely on, you can depend at the time of the crisis. This card also tells about the steady temperament, stability, security, where you know your personality is something amongst those on whom other people can trust and who has got a very steady temperament. He is not prone to the mood swings or the behavior swing. He is very stable in his behavior, in his commitments. And the last is the person is also supporting to other people. This person will encourage others to grow and thrive in the life. Why I'm saying all these kind of divinatory meaning, like the way enterprising, reliability, the supporting, steady, because once you start actually doing the reading, you first need to understand the divinatory meaning of this card. Then only you will be able to correlate this card in this real life situation of the people. Next is, whenever it comes to understanding this card's meaning, if this card will come out to be reversed in your reading. So first of all, this just tells about this is not a very good sign from the wealth perspective. Loss of wealth can be seen from this card in reverse formation. Again, the stupidity in your behavior, instability can be foreseen. Very much caution needs to be followed if the person is associated with people who are into criminal activities or any kind of the gambling acts. The person needs to be very watchful of, because this card also creates lot of vulnerability of losing in the criminal acts. Because see, the thing is, king is all about the authority, pentacle is about the finances. In a reverse formation, there remains to be high possibility that the person might act out of stupidity, and this stupidity will be forced with the energy of the king, and there remains to be high chances of facing losses in all of that. This could also be a case where person will gain power, but he will use that power, he will use that authority for all the wrong reasons. So this is all we can understand this card's meaning in a reverse formation. Now when it comes to understanding this card's meaning in the real life situation of the people, so all those kind of situation, like the way I've already explained, that let's say for example, someone who is on the verge of starting his own enterprise, this card is a very good sign. Next is someone whose relationship is going through too much of the tides of ups and downs. Mere presence of this card in the reading is just going to give this indication that the relationship is going to get stabilized in the near future. Even in all those kind of situation, when you are kind of not sure about the authenticity of the person with whom you are with or you are dating, the presence of this card in the reading is again a good indication, because this card also tells about the reliability quotient. So this is all what I wanted to say as my take on the King of the Pentacles. I hope you guys found this video informational. For further more updates and notification on tarot, please subscribe my channel and like my Facebook page. Thanks.
Shivo